This story will shake you to the core. Jessica Radcliffe, a girl whose every moment in life revolved around the sea and its creatures. Since childhood, her world was surrounded by marine animals. Her father was a biologist who often brought different sea creatures to his lab for his research. That is why Jessica's inclination towards these creatures kept growing, especially towards the huge and beautiful marine animals. Her love for them was nothing less than an obsession. As she grew older, this attachment deepened, and she began accompanying her father on sea expeditions, where scientists researched whales and dolphins. Spending every day with these aquatic creatures developed a unique understanding in Jessica. She began to feel them deeply. It was as if there was magic in her hands. Whenever she touched a dolphin, they would be drawn to her. For her, all this was nothing less than a dream. Gradually, her confidence grew, and she took part in a show at Ocean Haven Marine Park for the first time. There she saw orcas performing tricks, and at that very moment, she decided that she would also become an orca trainer. At just 19 years old, she earned a degree in marine biology and started working as a trainer at Ocean Haven. She got her first orca, a massive and powerful fish that she named Mello. In the beginning, everything was wonderful. A bond formed between Mello and Jessica, making it seem to everyone as though they completely understood each other. Mello would dance to Jessica's signals, dive into the water, and perform amazing stunts before thousands of people. The audience would go crazy, and the sound of clapping would echo. Jessica's show had now become different and unique from all others. But then, slowly, something began to change. Mello's behavior started to turn strange. Sometimes she became very aggressive, and sometimes she refused to eat without any reason. On many occasions, she started ignoring the instructions Jessica gave her. Jessica could clearly see these changes, but she kept ignoring them. Then, one day, Mello's anger grew so much that she spent the whole night banging her head against the walls of her tank. Seeing this, the show management became concerned. Finally, it was decided that Mello would do one last show, and only Jessica would perform with her. The day of the show arrived. The stadium was packed. Everyone was excited to witness this historic performance. Jessica's parents were also present to see their daughter achieve a new milestone before the world. The stage was set, and as soon as Jessica began her performance with Mello, the stadium echoed with applause. Mello, who had been behaving strangely for some time, that day followed Jessica's every signal without any trouble. She jumped out of the water, dived, and performed every stunt perfectly. Everything was going exactly as planned, and Jessica's confidence was at its peak. But who knew this was going to be the last performance of her life? The final stunt of the show, the one everyone had come to see, began. Jessica sat on Mello's back, and the fish began to take her around the entire stadium. The audience was thrilled, and the clapping grew even louder. But suddenly, something happened that no one could have imagined. Mello suddenly became uncontrollable. She dived quickly and then grabbed Jessica in her jaws. For a moment, the audience thought this was part of the show. But as soon as Jessica's screams echoed, everyone was shocked. Jessica's parents were watching this with their own eyes, but for them, it was nothing less than a nightmare. The spectators panicked and began running in all directions. The show management staff jumped into the water, but by then, it was too late. The show, which moments ago had been a blockbuster, had now turned into a heartbreaking tragedy. The ocean world Jessica loved the most was about to take her life. The other trainers tried their best to distract Mello somehow, but she seemed lost in another world. Various objects were thrown into the water, ropes were dropped, even fish were thrown in so she would release Jessica. But nothing affected Mello. By the time two trainers entered the water to save her, it was already too late. Mello had clamped Jessica in her jaws and dragged her deep into the water. The sight that followed was hair-raising. The strength of Mello's jaws was such that the attack caused deep injuries to Jessica's lungs and chest. The entire water had turned red with blood. Finally, with the help of a hydraulic machine, Mello was somehow caught and pulled out of the water. But when Jessica was brought out, it was too late. A trainer had become the victim of an attack from her own companion. But this was not the first time someone had lost their life in this way. A similar horrific case had occurred with Daniel Patrick Dukes. Always in a cheerful mood, Daniel made a mistake this time that cost him his life.
Daniel was addicted to drugs and often got into trouble because of his behavior. But this time, he did something no one could have imagined. Without buying a ticket, he secretly entered SeaWorld. There, he sat in a seat like a regular visitor, but because he was intoxicated, he fell asleep. After the show ended and everyone left, he woke up. Instead of leaving, he insisted on staying there. The security guards tried to remove him, but he convinced them that he knew the owner of the show. Somehow, he managed to persuade the guards to let him stay inside. Now he felt as if he had accomplished something great. His confidence grew so much that he went straight to the Orca's tank. Who knows what came into his mind, but suddenly he took off his clothes and jumped into the water. At that moment, he had no idea what a huge mistake he had made. It was nighttime, and due to the disturbance in the water, the Orca woke up. She watched Daniel for a while, but when he decided to keep swimming instead of getting out of the water, the situation changed. Suddenly, the Orca attacked him with full force. In one blow, all his ribs were broken, his body suffered deep wounds, and the entire tank's water turned red with blood. In the morning, when the trainers arrived, the sight they saw was horrifying. The whole pool was filled with blood, and Daniel's dead body was floating in the water. So friends, as much as the beauty of the ocean world fascinates us, it can be equally mysterious and dangerous. The stories of Jessica and Daniel teach us how important it is to maintain a balance with nature. Could these accidents have been avoided? Was it human greed and the hunger for fame that were the real cause of these events? Or were these giant creatures also sometimes trying to express their inner pain? What do you think? Be sure to tell us in the comments. If you want to know more such mysterious and true incidents, subscribe to the channel and don't forget to press the bell icon. We will meet soon with another heart-shaking story. Until then, stay safe and keep thinking. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe for more beautiful and emotional stories. See you in the next one.